This international group of students from different countries with different historical backgrounds meet together in these very painful places and have a chance to exchange their knowledge, their feelings, and have a chance to work together and to prepare together an artistic performance.
It's just such an honor to have an international group of young, sensitive students who are processing history and facts of history through art.
This idea of utilizing a place of remembrance, a memorial site, as a prompt, as source material for artists to work on art was really an interesting idea to me. And the title comes from this idea that in my family, I asked my grandfather when I was young about our family history, and he told me pretty clearly that he didn't really say anything. He was very silent, and I always say that it's a silence that taught me never to ask him this question again. But then the reality is that inside all of this silence is nothing but sound, pain, betrayal, screaming, crying, loss. And so the idea for this project is a way to find this sound in this silence. And I think it works pretty amazingly because the young people leave the project and there's something different about them than when they arrived.
It opened my eyes to things that I hadn't really considered before about what's around and what's the history of this place. Why are we here? What are we doing here? And how should we feel about it?
We all need history. I think whoever we are, we deal with it. We are who we are because of the history that happened before. We might not realize that all the time, but if we're young, if we're older, we are affected by former political decisions in history, and they influence our lives. So, and I think knowing this and understanding where we come from is important for all of us, especially maybe for young people who go into the world. We have, for them, to bridge a gap. We have to bridge a gap in time.
Resist and impose yourself. Always ask questions.
Before I came here, I thought just, art was like something you see and you enjoy. But then later on over here, how we use art to learn history, I kind of understood that, art is just not to look at. We can use it to actually learn some stuff.
It's something really new to me, and we never did that before. It was just learning history through books and through movies, and was just never so interactive.
I have body, you have body, you can make somebody shape, I can make somebody shape. So we work with these very simple things and how to move them in some composition that it's coherent to the place where we are working.
It was a really different approach to history than what we're mainly used to, like in school and so on. And even though I visited places like these before, it didn't have the same impact and the same, emotional, the emotional and the power that these activities gave to me. And I think that this is mainly the thing that will still linger in my mind, in my soul.
Ir kad jau tas jaunimas, kuris bendrauja, man buvo ir ypatingai svarbus to, kad iš tikrųjų nepaprastas jaunimas, ar ne? Ir man atrodo, kad tie susitikimai, kai jie sužino, kas buvo ir kaip buvo ir kodėl tai buvo, ne? Tai yra labai svarbus.
During the survivor's speech, I was surprised at how open she was. I was really grateful for being able to talk with a survivor of the Holocaust, which is like the first kind of experience in my life, like talking with an actual survivor in person. And yeah, it gave me a new kind of way of thinking.
We feel lucky that we are able to meet people who experienced these horrible things. I'm getting out of my comfort zone every day.
Why did no one have the power to stop this? Why did no one have the power to stop this? Why did no one have the power to stop this? Why did no one have the power to stop this? Why did no one have the power to stop this? Why did no one have the power to stop this? Why did no one have the power to stop this?
Here, you get a different insight. You don't only get to know what happened, but also you kind of feel more about it. So I think it's a better way to keep track of how things were and understand how they came to be. And I think it's very important because while we do need to know the facts, we also need to know the emotions behind them. That way we can learn about it better and remember.
Students' needs today are much different than the needs of students 50 years ago. Today, with IT technology and social media, students have much shorter attention span. And that's why it's important for teachers to adapt teaching techniques today. This is why project-based learning is the best, because students are completely engaged in the process of learning.
I didn't really think that I had it in me to, let's say, write poems and write raps, because I never actually did it before and I wasn't really confident in my abilities to do that, but it was really interesting to actually write them and see how that I was actually able to do something with it.
I think it's really important, like the way we use the memory of our ancestors and the people that were here, and it's a memory that we don't have on our own. Like, we took it from this place, and it really is full of memories.
Have courage to discover the past.
And we really have to build a deep understanding how important the values of democracy are for our society. Because when we have a look in historical situations, we can see what happened to numerous people, like thousands, millions of people who hadn't like the protection and those values that we have today. And we really have to take care that we go on in this direction and not giving space to those who want to go back there. I think it's important for today's education that we give a lot of space for the personal development of the students, and therefore they not only need facts and informations that they have to remember, but also possibilities to be activated, to be empowered, to take their responsibilities and their possibilities they already have. So they kind of feel that they can change the world, that they are not like just consumers and passive, but they actually can change something.
I became for sure more grateful for what I have.
The most important thing, I believe, is to learn the lesson from the past and to be aware of the situations when democracy, for example, failed and what the consequences for the humankind were.
Maybe there's politicians, future politicians among our participants, and this is how such a projects and reflection about history could influence our future.
We get to experience the different values that people have and the different kind of experiences. Because people from the same country, you know, the Hungarian team, they are also very diverse, and we can also have great conversations and come up with great ideas, obviously. But it is always nice to hear other ideas and how other students from all around Europe perceive the world.
I find it more interesting and actually inspiring, because what we're talking about here is exactly what happens when different nations and different people do not come together. So the international aspect of this project is necessary to even have it, or even to participate and to even understand the concept of exclusion.
Like accepting others' opinion about topics, it's really important for depicting history of this, and I think remembering that we are all human, it's very, very important.
Sometimes I feel. Let's talk about their fear, their hate, their life, their fate. Everything was so real, but today it seems fake. My tears, my fears, my time, my shine. 'Cause what's the point of history? Let's talk about their fear, their hate, their life, their fate. Everything was so real, but today it seems fake. My tears, my fears, my time, my shine. 'Cause what's the point of history if we never learn? What's the point of history? 'Cause what's the point of history? 'Cause what's the point of history? 'Cause what's the point of history if we never learn?